Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. In the series of temple history, we are going to hear about some of the ancient temples and its itihasa. We know the state of temples in our country today. Some are being taken away, some are being demolished, and some are being considered as memorial places, where actually these are the places of our pride, because these are the places where the culture and tradition of our country lies. And one such kshetra and temple which we are going to see today is Narshya, which is located at the Taulava Pradesha, which is somewhere around Udupi. So Jagadguru Sri Madhvacharya, during his sanchara, he visited a lot of places in and around the Parashurama Kshetra region. And he performed puja at lot of temples there. And one such temple where he performed puja, where he had been, is what we are going to hear about today. It's the Yoga Narasimha Swami temple at Narshya. Srimad Acharya, once he ordered and made the writing of Sarvamoola Granthas in a copper plate. And he wanted to keep it secretly under the ground, for which he started his prayana from Udupi and he came to Pajaka, and further he came inwards and came to a place called Kattila. There he placed these Sarvamoola Granthas which were written in a copper plate under the ground. And from there he came to this place, Narshya. It's such an ancient place. It has a lot of history which is related to Srimad Acharya. As I said, Srimad Acharya, when he came there, the temple had the deity Yoga Narasimha Swami. The temple is facing west direction and it's completely surrounded by forest region, and there is a Pushkarani opposite to the temple. So Srimad Acharya came there with his Sishyas. He took a dip at the Pushkarani. Then he started to perform puja. Knowing that Srimad Acharya had come there, a lot of people arrived there and a crowd formed there. There were some evil men in that gathering. Those were Srimad Acharya's enemies. They wanted to defeat and defame Srimad Acharya. They were following Srimad Acharya for a long time with that intention. No one can do anything to Srimad Acharya because he is none other than the third avatar of Vayudeva. But Srimad Acharya came to know about their presence and he wanted to teach them a lesson, and he thought that this is also a great Bhagavad Puja. So he immediately called a small brahmachari, a small boy. And Srimad Acharya climbed upon that boy. To everyone's surprise, the boy looked like nothing had happened to him. And by the order of Srimad Acharya, that boy who was holding Srimad Acharya took Srimad Acharya to a pradakshina around the temple. That was a very big temple for the boy to do a pradakshina itself. And holding Srimad Acharya for such a long time is something which was impossible, because Srimad Acharya was one of the greatest and one of the strongest men there. And all the people were astonished with that boy who looked like nothing had happened to him, who was smiling and was completely normal. And seeing the astonishment in the faces of people, Srimad Acharya came there and he said that all this he got is because of the Yoga Narasimha Swami in that temple. There are Ashtasiddhis which are very popular. They are Anima, Garima, Laghima, Mahima, Ishitva, Vashitva, Prapti and Prakashya. And Srimad Acharya had mastered all of these. Here in that temple, in this temple, Srimad Acharya showed us the Laghima Siddhi, being weightless, a state of being very less in weight, in mass. And all the people were very surprised by this miracle which was shown by Srimad Acharya. And Srimad stated and declared that all this siddhi is because of the Narasimha Swami there. And by this, he defeated the ego of his enemies. And today, this temple is under Sri Uttaradimat. This temple is one of the proof of one of the great miracles of Srimadacharya during his lifetime. And the Supreme Lord Narasimha has himself come to one of his greatest bhaktas, Sri Savardha into Sri Satyatma Tirtha Swamiji. And we are duty bound to visit these places and take the anugraha of Srimadacharya and Yoga Narasimha Swami. Shri Krishnarpanamastu.